Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, fresh off his cameo in the anti capitalist cannibal film, The Consumer, it's Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, buddy. I'm glad to be here. That was a good one. You got me with that one. That was good.
When this podcast eventually dissolves, we're all going to have to come to our expiration date. Are we going to meet on a rooftop? We'll get together like every month in an equidistant thing. We're far away.
We're far away, but I hope so. We'll pick like they said. We'll pick like Philly or maybe.
I was about to say Philly is kind of the equidistant thing for us too.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, let's go, buddy.
Excellent. Well, you, sir. I mean, last night I did the whole New Year's Eve showing of the Stranger Things finale. You are fresh off it. This is New Year's Day. Happy New Year to yourself and to everyone out there. You are like hot off of it. You are like, what? You got out like an hour and a half ago. So you're fresh off of watching the Stranger Things finale. We've been covering part 1 and part 2 of this final season. And it's been up and down for us at best, right? Like we really liked more part 1. Part 2, we thought got a little more science-y, a little more extra Holly Wheeler, a little kind of where is this going, a little bit of confusion, and not knowing and not being all that enthused for the finale. First of all, I just want to put out there that I think as far as winners are concerned, the experience of going to this in a movie theater, excellent for me. I'm speaking for myself. You can speak to it in a second, but I will say just being in a sold out theater, New Year's Eve, super fans there, people dressed up in the ice cream shop costumes and stuff from previous seasons and all that stuff, just like that kind of energy in the building. And when the big things happen, hearing claps, which I'll go over, I wrote down every single clap, like ovation in the finale. So we could talk about that. But as far as just, you paid for a ticket, I'm sure it's the same for you. You paid for a ticket, you got a concession voucher, all the money went to the movie theaters. Netflix didn't really get a dime off of this. And it's all about just fan experience and super serving the fans and everything else, which I appreciate. How was your experience in the movie theater?
I'll tell you, it was sold out. It was totally sold out, and people, like you said, were dressed up in the radio station hoodies and the ice cream shop costumes. Awesome. Yeah, it was great. Not a lot of claps during the movie. Only at the end. There were several laughs throughout, which honestly I didn't justify those laughs, but they laughed anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But overall, it was a really good experience. It was better than I thought going into the finale. I was expecting something else, and at the end they all got up and applauded. So, but no, it was a really cool experience to be there with everybody.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was very happy with the experience. And again, I think it also may color my experience as well. Because if you're like, oh man, people are so into this, maybe I'm the Scrooge. Maybe I'm the person who's not getting into this, and this. I will say, because I am the day after now, I've had a little bit longer to kind of digest it. I think this finale, and we can get started on kind of just giving our general thoughts or our instant reactions here right after seeing this. I think for the most part, they got the idea to kind of almost not ignore the science and all the heavy stuff, the things that kind of cloud what's going on here, and really went to more of the heart of just get all these fun people in a room to destroy shit and do action stuff and have fun with it a little bit more than what we thought may happen, especially coming off the second part. I think for the most part, I wouldn't categorize this and say, I've seen some people going, oh, way to go, Netflix. You had 2 of your biggest shows ever both have Game of Thrones endings or whatever with Squid Game and this. I disagree with that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. But I will say that there are some like tropey beyond tropey stuff in here as far as like where Elle ends up, the rooftop thing that we're kind of just alluding to and laughing at a little bit, and just maybe more fan service stuff that is just going to clog up a little bit. But some of that's to be expected. But overall, I didn't walk out of there going, oh yeah, they botched this.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I liked it. That's just the best way I can describe it. I thought it like drew right down a line right down the middle of what it was going for. Like I liked the first half of the season finale. I felt like it was like 2 different episodes altogether.
Right.
So
well,
like
yeah.
So like the first half I was really into. But I was let down that Vecna was not the main villain, like you kind of like texted me on the side with the messenger, with the mind flayer stuff.
Well, he is, but
he's not.
Isn't.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that.
It was a letdown. It was totally a letdown for me, like he's being controlled by the mind flayer. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I got over that because the action pieces and all them together like satisfied my thirst for that. Then the second half just felt like a long... I don't even know what to call it. Like just a long, drawn out, hey, this is where we are. This is what we're doing. Blah. I didn't like the second half. I got tired of it. I thought about like Clerks 2 when they were like, oh, this is the end of Lord of the Rings. We're going to keep, oh, this is the end. Nope. This is the end. Nope. Oh, they give each other the look in the eyes. Like, let's go for it. Like, it's like, can we just end this right now? Please, please. And then they brought back Mr. Wheeler out of nowhere. He's recovered out of the hospital. He's in the bleachers. He's like, I'm like, what is going on? So overall, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I liked it. I don't think they crashed the plane, but they left a lot unexplained. Like with 11 and that whole scene, like when you shot me that meme, I laughed my ass off. I'm like, oh my God, yes, we'll appear in Avengers Doomsday. Like that is so apropos. That is so apropos for that. Like I just laughed. But like it wasn't awful. It was okay. I just felt like everything they built up to that episode, the sign stuff and everything, like, whoop, nope, we're just gonna go for this and then we're gonna go for that. And that was it. So
yeah, they went very direct. Instead of like all this show was such kind of a puzzle box thing that I think all of those things didn't quite pay off. I guess if you want to criticize it in that way, now that everything's over, I guess. But if I had to retitle this season, this episode, whatever, it would be Wheelers Have Nards, because everything they set up in this season is like Nancy Wheeler, Mrs. Wheeler, like Holly Wheeler. The women of Wheeler are fucking just somehow warrior princesses. Like everybody had huge action moments. And I even said, like, from the get-go, Nancy looked like Ripley from Alien. Yep. Like she had full Sigourney Weaver hair. It was obvious. And I knew she was going to go full tilt on something at some point. She already had the itchy trigger finger. She's been known for that kind of stuff already. But I was like, buckle up, because it's going to get even more to that. But yeah, as far as Ted Wheeler, just to put that to bed already, I was gaslit by the fact that there's a Ted Wheeler Target commercial that aired before the final episode starts. And I'm like, oh, so he could be here, but no one gives a shit if he's alive or dead for most of the season. And then, as you said, most of the time, we're sitting here going, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Then Ted is at graduation, but right before then, Mrs. Wheeler is like, oh my God, where's Mike? I don't know what's going on. She's so concerned. She's calling around to Hopper and everybody else. And then she sees him and she gets her moment with him. Again, fuck Ted. Fuck Ted. because that dude, all he gets is one moment to say language
Yeah,
when Dustin
yeah,
swears at graduation.
yes,
Are you kidding me?
Yes, thank you, Andrew.
This whole season, for the most part, if I don't want to be this guy, but
We gotta
good
be.
God, it kind of almost goes out of your way to be like, dudes suck, like, or they're less like everything about this. They push, between all the like 11, 8, Nancy Wheeler, Mrs. Wheeler, like all that stuff gets pushed to the front. Will not being a straight guy, all that stuff too, push him to the front. Straight white guys kind of like really kind of get pushed back. Oh, and Max and Holly and everybody, like they're all in there. And I have no problem. Listen, the opposite has been true forever, to where it's like, oh, it's the straight white guy universe, and all those characters get prominently showed. But I don't know. This one, I just felt like every moment was. It wasn't the main guys, which is also part of that too, where this started with the 4 D&D boys.
Yeah, and just think, like, who was the final person to chop Vecna's head off?
Yeah, Joyce.
Yeah, right. So they brought all that back.
Right, Mrs. Byers.
Yeah,
too.
they brought all that back around to the start, and it's like you said, Hopper took a back seat. Like, we thought the main kids would be the ones who did this, and they weren't. They weren't. It was a collective group of everybody. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, they kind of like didn't. Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. So, like, I'm like, oh, okay, and it makes sense that they put, Joyce Byers up there to finally take out Vecna from, like, they linked it to season 1. They showed the flashbacks and everything, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But then, it was
a lot of clip show stuff, by the way. A lot of flashback stuff where they were just like, remember this?
Yeah, it really was, especially at the end. And I'm like, okay. But, it is what it is. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not mad at it. Like, I'm not. Like, it may come off like I'm upset about it, but I'm not. But I'm just like.
Yeah, same here. Like, and I like a lot of these characters. I like the fact that we didn't really get, like, anybody dying or dead.
No one except
here,
for
really, besides Vecna or whatever.
Spoiler alert: 8 was it.
Can I just say, in the moment,
go ahead.
If you watch that in slow motion, because it's the helicopter blows up next to the window, next to these people who are about to shoot her. When everybody moves, it doesn't look like there's any way that the trajectory of that bullet could shoot her.
No.
It looked like she got out of the way. So until they made a big to-do about it, I was like, oh, she survived that moment.
Yep.
And we're moving on.
Yep.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, and even then, like, we'll get to 8 in that whole thing in a moment, because everybody obviously got concerned when bringing her back of, like, what's the purpose here? Even to the last second where I said to you, like, oh, people think 8 is the Mind Flayer.
Right.
Which would, make sense in some way as, like, a fan theory, but not to be the case. But I just, everybody got kind of sensible endings, if that means anything.
Very
like,
cliche.
Everybody, very, like, even down to, like, Steve getting to be, like, a coach and a sex ed teacher is very 80s movie ending cliche kind of stuff. And the babysitter turning into a coach, that's very apropos and all that stuff. So I'm not mad at it. But do you want me to, like, I'm just going to run through here real quick. There's several moments in here. I'll go over the clap moments.
All right.
And then if you want to, and then maybe we can go over maybe winners and losers. And that way we can kind of maybe suss out the rest of this as it goes. First clap moment was Elle making the soldier shoot himself in the face.
Yeah, that got a little response. It wasn't a clap, but there's a audible cheer when that happened in my audience.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one was Elle versus the Mind Flayer, where she opens it up and kind of like goes in and takes care of it.
No response from my crowd.
Man, down south, you guys gotta get yourselves together.
No.
I'm wondering whether it's like the 8 o'clock New Year's Eve
Or
like hype crowd also versus
the
like
11 o'clock
the
hungover
cold.
crowd. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. 100%. So next one was the flame throwing of the Mind Flayer monster.
No response from my crowd.
Because that was where Nancy went all big shot,
Yep.
got caught in the corner, and then everybody starts attacking the monster to get it away from her. Good moment. Will controlling Vecna as he was attacking Elle.
No response from my crowd at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Did Vecna's death do anything for anybody?
It did. And the other audible like clap was when oh my god, Derek again said suck the
Another suck a fat
Yep.
one.
That got a lot of laughs out of everybody, but that was about it. And then the ending for me, everyone clapped and stood up.
Were you watching it with a bunch of 10-year-olds outside of your own, maybe?
Listen, dude, I was next to I'm going to guess 70-year-old dude in the theater in my seat.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was bawling uncontrollably, like just
That's amazing.
crying his eyes out. And I'm like,
wow.
And I'm a sensitive guy. I cry a lot. But like, I'm looking at him like, what are you crying? Like, what are you doing right now? Like, what?
It's over. It's finally over.
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with you?
The worlds are not going to crash into us.
Right.
Thank God we're safe.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a mixed crowd.
Next clap was Joyce cutting off Vecna's head. You fuck with the wrong family.
Yep. That got a clap.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So, okay. Now I'm starting to see where your crowd is at. Extreme violence.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Yes.
Clap number 7, Dustin's speech / Hellfire Lives.
That got a lot of like audible voices and stuff. Not so much a clap, but
Just like a pop.
Yeah, a pop.
Yeah.
That kind of big pop. And I will admit, I did like that, to be honest with you, when he took the robe off and he had the Hellfire.
He needed something.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that with Dustin, where that was what his legacy was going to be.
Yep.
It felt like that he had to survive because he had to have Eddie's legacy live on through him.
Yep.
Right. And then the last one just being the end.
Yeah.
You know, the end credits, David Bowie's Heroes playing, all of that to get to all of it. So I guess I'm just gonna run through a little bit here. Did you have like a big winner of this? Like to me, you know, if you can, the Wheeler women have to be the big winners because they got so many moments in here throughout that you just can't help but that. And obviously 11, you know, is a big one.
I would say 11, and again, the Wheeler women, because if you look at the original cast, like Dustin, okay, Lucas, Max, okay.
They got their moment before this episode.
Yeah, and not really. In this final episode, like they all just kind of fell flat. There wasn't anyone that stood out in the crowd because they were all together. So it wasn't until, again, the Wheeler women with going all Ripley on us, and then the Joyce Byers chopping the head off. That was about it. Like, and you know,
right.
I was thinking when we got the Mike and 11 moment when he's in her head, I'm like, I forgot they were even together. Like that just didn't mean anything to me. It didn't feel.
Yeah.
It just didn't. I didn't feel that emotion between them
They
two.
botched that this whole season.
Yeah. I just felt like, oh, okay. And then they showed the flashback after flashback after flashback. I'm like, you ignored that for an entire season and you bring it back in the last episode. It didn't, it should have hit everybody, but it didn't hit me at all. And I'm like, Mike was inconsequential during this season, to be honest with you. He, what moment?
Well, until the end.
Right. But like,
because then you need him to be the guy, the bearer of secrets, or the guy who knows.
Right. But before that, like, what has Mike done this entire season? Nothing. He was like on the sideline. So that whole
essentially he's useless.
Yeah. So that whole sequence with them just didn't carry the emotional weight that it should have. It should have been impactful, and it just wasn't.
Yeah. They basically turned him into a version of Stephen King / the kid from Sandlot, in a way, where he was like the announcer and sees his friends doing other stuff, and he's living the legacy on.
Yeah.
at the end. But I did like that summation, even though you have to admit, you already mentioned the Lord of the Rings thing, because that is honest, because this thing ends a billion times. It gives everybody their due. You knew once everybody survived, everybody's going to get a bunch of moments.
Yeah.
They're going to get all their recap. This isn't going to be an 80s movie where they show the yearbook photo and go, this person went on to do this. They're all going to get their moment. It's all going to get even more, right? Although, would have liked a little more. What did Murray end up doing?
Yeah, right.
Maybe a little more Murray. Which Murray, honestly, a winner for me because he got his moment with the helicopter.
He did.
I did want to say that as well. Yeah, I just felt like this also had almost the Dark Knight Rises ending. Like, if I was to make a meme from this episode, I would honestly have either like the Wheelers or Hopper in Paris at the cafe where they see Elle having you know drinks across the way and give the little nod. Like, that felt like that was how Elle's existence is going to be. You know, do you agree with that one? That it's a little Dark Knight Rises?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Or if you want to go again on like awkward endings, she would be a lumberjack next to Dexter.
That's a good one, but yeah, that's what it felt like.
Like,
that's
she's gonna be just walking the earth.
Yeah. She's like Samuel Jackson.
Is she gonna do kung fu?
Yeah, I was gonna say she's like Samuel Jackson described in Pulp Fiction. She's like, you're just gonna walk the earth. Yeah, like, that's what she's doing.
Amazing. Wasn't that David Carradine? So doesn't that make it come full circle with the Kill Bill?
Sure was.
So that was, you know, a lot of my immediate thoughts on that. Hopper, I guess, I don't know. The fact that Mike got the big thing instead of Hopper is interesting. Like we mentioned how it kind of got messed up with Mike throughout the season. That is that the guy, but I guess if they're going to have that moment with all the guys playing D&D at the end, you need that to be Mike.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it. And then Hopper gets to have his little sit down with Mike, which I like.
Yeah.
I actually like that scene.
I did too.
Kind of going, I could have gone down a dark path and then push people away.
I was shocked.
Instead, I'm going to do.
I was shocked he was still a sheriff. Like, I'm like, you haven't been on the job for like 5 years. Like, and all of a sudden you're like in uniform, ready to go. Like, okay, let's go, City Hawkins.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, in that vein, I did also have the moment like everybody else where when Dustin's mother's taking his photo, I was like, where the fuck you been, lady?
Yeah.
Like, all these parents have just been like, they're fine. They're out just riding their bikes somewhere. Oh, they've been gone for like days, weeks, months.
Yeah, years.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, we saw Hopper get his moment. I was fine with that. But I want to go back to what you said. Yeah. I'm glad it ended on the D&D stuff because that's what started this show. And I am actually, when I look upon it with the Holly and her old friends going down there to play and Mike's reflecting on the stairs, I actually did like that moment. I'm like, that makes sense. Like, that is a perfect kind of wraparound for this show.
Right. Yeah. Do I love all those kids, or do I have enough of a relationship with them to feel anything? Not a lot, but also, even for Holly Wheeler, who we know a lot, she's not the nerd.
No,
like, they're not the nerdy all. Type. Like,
not at all.
You know, but Erica seems like the person who's gonna be the person to have like real D&D stuff going on.
Correct. But you know, throw that all aside. Like, we know that group of kids probably wouldn't play D&D. It was just nice to see that. Like, I felt like, okay, that's a good closure on this whole season, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, can't complain about that, especially at that point in the episode where you're just like, well, we're gonna do everything else, right? Winner, the Prince Estate, getting When Doves Cry and Purple Rain to kind of And the needle drops on here in general were a win.
Yes.
You know, like I mentioned, the David Bowie. We have Here Comes Your Man by the Pixies. They even busted out Landslide. That's just dirty.
I was going to say Landslide.
Because that's not even an 80s song.
Yeah, I was going to say Landslide blew me away. I'm like, all right. I'm a big Prince fan, so once they dropped it on Prince, I was in. And then Landslide, I'm like, oh, okay, let's go. So yeah, you're right. The music drops were perfect in this episode.
Yeah, I was happy with that. So the one other thing, I guess, do you have any losers? Like, besides the fact that like some people had to take a step back, really? Outside of Joyce Byers, did you like lose her to see like, where is she? Like, I didn't notice that she even went up into the abyss until like Will had like a moment and she just happened to be at his side.
I thought the loser was Joyce Byers, because again, like, she was inconsequential.
It started with her.
Yeah, it started with her. It ended with her. That's fine. But everything between, even this whole season, just think about it. What did she really do? She's in the radio station. She was consoling Will. That's what she did. So, like, she brought nothing to the table as far as, like, the last episode or even this season. So, to me, she's the biggest loser. Second biggest loser to me is Vecna himself. I'm like, we thought he was going to be the big bad, and then we found out he was being controlled by the Mind Flayer. And it's like, okay.
All right. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I need a few things kind of not explained, but like just a little bit of a side eye to.
Go ahead.
Okay. You are right. However, you're also wrong. So they have that conversation where Will is in his head. They could see what happens in that moment with the scientist guy who, you know, Henry kills. And then, why does a kid need to open that briefcase? There's no need for him to open that briefcase unless he was sent there to retrieve the briefcase. If I killed an adult as a child after getting shot in the hand, I'm running.
Yeah.
I'm out of there.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm going back up the ladder and getting the fuck out of there. I just committed murder. So that's number one. Number two, he says to Will or 11, forgive me on that one. I forget whether it's when Will's in his head or whether it's with 11 later.
I'll let you know.
He says, I could have fought harder. I could have fought back, but I wanted it. Essentially, like the Mind Flayer's control over him. He's like, I was stronger. I could have done it, but I wanted this. And that's when they made it where Vecna is still part of this.
That was Will
as a villain. So, yeah. So, yes, you're right that the Mind Flayer is controlling him. However, he could have gotten out of it, and he still wanted it, and he was still, I guess, enjoying the power of it. And
here's the problem I have with that, though. Like, for 2 seasons, they built Vecna up. Season 4 and season 5. Like, he's the guy.
Yeah.
And then, like you suggested earlier, like, it could be the Mind Flayer. I'm like, nah, that's already done. Like, that's in the past.
Right.
Like, it's Vecna. No, it's the Mind Flayer. I just felt like that was, I don't know. I was deflated.
They had both.
I was deflated.
They had their cake and eat it.
Yeah,
too.
I was deflated. That's all I'll say. I didn't hate it, but I was a little deflated about that situation.
Because there's this notion with either big shows, even like Thanos to a degree, like they always try to have this empathetic look at these villains to where it's like, oh, they're not all bad. They just chose the wrong path, or oh, they had some influence over them that made them this way. It's like, do we need that for every villain? We have no villains who are just fucking pure evil. This was my big, huge, epic problem with Wicked, where it's like, oh, we're just going to do fan fiction now to where she's not just the Wicked Witch of the West, where she's like the female Darth Vader of sorts. And even Darth Vader, they ruined that whole concept of just pure evil. And even still, like the Emperor was actually more of the pure evil. But at least like we got time with the Emperor to know what was going on there. The Mind Flayer, we got nothing.
Nothing.
It's just an entity. It's a thing.
Yep.
We have no association with it. So yeah, it's a little tough. They always try to have this sympathy, empathy, whatever version of that for any of its villains. And meanwhile, like the military, they don't give a fuck about, or the scientists or any of these people. Like they tried to do that a little bit. I heard, oh God, with the original Doctor, that I guess he did an experiment where people got sent through dimensions and he lost people, and that's why he was doing that. And again, extra layers of everybody whenever they're villains. It's this extra story. And I guess Vecna had to be no different.
Yeah, I agree. But like all that to be said, like we didn't get time to Mind Flayer and blah blah blah. But the set pieces that took place in the action that was going around, I didn't hate it. Like I just didn't hate it, but I was like just like deflated.
Yeah.
But going back to Linda Hamilton, her character too was like built up to be nothing. Like, okay.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all. Like the whole military aspect, other than that guy being shot by 11, was absolutely nothing. Like, okay.
I almost equate her with 8 in a way, to be like, oh, you were just there to serve this one you were in service of this one moment that was going to happen at the end of the episode, and you needed people to kind of collide, and the military and 8 were both part of that.
Yeah.
You needed 8's powers, and you needed her kind of like telling her to fix the cycle, to kind of end everything, and then the military needed to just be there to be that presence to back 8's claims, and also be there when they escape, and then have Elle have that final moment.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all she was there for. That's all the military was there for. It didn't lead into anything. Like the episode previously, it was like, oh, the military is going to like go in there, and like I thought there'd be more into this season. There was an episode, and it just wasn't. And I'm like,
right.
But again, in the moment, like watching with people out, I didn't mind. Like I just didn't mind. But again, another hole in the whole bliss we're going down right now.
I have one other thing that I need someone to explain to me like I'm 5.
Okay.
And maybe you can help.
Okay.
We saw the memory many, many times, and it ended up being a crucial memory, sort of, in the end, with them all going to high school together. Henry Creel, Joyce, Hopper, and even Steve Harrington's dad, I think.
Yep. Who's from Greensboro, by the way. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So why was this so key for starters? Also, how old is Henry Creel when he's taken over by the Mind Flayer in that scouting the whole because if you're telling me that dude was taken over by the Mind Flayer, went back into society, nobody was like, oh, this guy's a fucking psychopath his whole time, and he was in like a stage play of Oklahoma, like and I just can't square this circle of like, none of the adults were like, oh, I remember Henry Creel. I remember that fucking guy.
No, yeah. Go ahead.
Is this a delusion? Am I wrong? Like,
No.
What's going on with this particular thing? Because so many things don't make sense to me.
No, you're totally right. I can't explain it to you. I can't set your fears aside. In the cave, he looks like a 9-year-old. Like I'm thinking 8, 9 years old is what I'm 10 tops.
He's a scout.
Yeah.
So like if you go by
10,
if he's a Boy Scout,
10 tops.
he has to right. Exactly.
Right. So the whole high school
He's double
yeah,
digits,
so the whole high school montage did not make a lick of sense to me at all. I don't know why that was included and why that was a key memory for Max and them to go through to to the whatever show they were watching in stage. Yeah, it made no sense because he was 10.
No idea.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. And why that would be like their little shortcut thing, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I just kind of went with it.
I went with it.
It's like, okay, yeah. You just wait for it and then go through and you're in his house.
I think that's a key to this episode. We just rode with a lot of stuff. We're just gonna ride with it, like
Totally.
whatever. Like just let's go.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's as long as like the action was fun, everybody kind of got their satisfactory ending. Nothing was like groany, like, or there's not too much cringe. I think you're gonna walk away, especially if you're in a movie theater. You're gonna be happy, and I think that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
But am I gonna turn around and go, I'm starting to make top 5 lists of like best series finale of all time, and is that going to be on it?
Nope.
Probably not.
Nope.
Although again, I was watching all that stuff in the Abyss, and I was like, that's why this is in a movie theater.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Production value, set scenes, everything was like key, and it was perfect for the theater until they got to the second half where they gave everyone their moments. I'm like, okay, all right, this is TV. Like this isn't movie quality. But that's why I said it felt like I was watching 2 different episodes within one episode. Like the first half was totally movie quality. This is why I'm here, eating my popcorn, drinking my Diet Coke. Let's go. And then the second half was like, okay. This
the first half was the actual finale. The second half was the epilogue.
Yeah, let's wrap it up, man. Let's go. And they didn't.
Yeah.
It took forever to wrap. It took an hour to wrap up. It took an hour to wrap up.
I know. I was like, wow, this is pretty fast as far as, once Vecna's dead. I was like, huh, that's interesting. That's when I knew the military had to, like, I was like, no way they're getting out of the Upside Down clean.
Right.
Was my first thought. But overall, I don't think this is Game of Thrones. Nope. I don't think this is groan worthy. There are a bunch of cringe. There are a lot of things, if you overthink or try to dig too deep, you will lose your mind. If anyone's out there and they watch this and they have an exact answer for the play, the high school stuff, all that, please send us a note, a pigeon. I don't fucking care. Just let me know why that matters or why this works in the timeline or anything. I really need to know. But great job by you. Glad you got to experience it the same way as I did with the movie theater and everything else. Maybe, not with the hungover crowd or 7-year-old men next time, but we'll try to do better. We'll get you better casting in your theater. But great job by you as always. We will be back real soon. We are going to record early next week. We are going to do our films of 2025 movie draft, and we're going to have special guests in for that to help us with that. So be sure to come back. Of course, subscribe to our new YouTube channel or subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts, any of those things. But be sure to come back next week for more recent activity.